Hi everybody, welcome to Aderans UK Live. Thank you for joining me on this really hot sunny evening that we've actually got in the UK. Hope it's still sunny where everybody is this evening watching us. As you'll notice, you can probably see that I'm on my own this evening. Bradley, who's normally my right hand man and sitting with me, is recovering from COVID at the moment. He's been a little bit poorly. He's a lot better now, but he's not doing late nights at the moment. So big shout out to Bradley if you're actually watching us, and I hope you're taking it easy. So tonight I've got somebody else with me, and I've got one of our guys called Mitch. He's in our IT team and in our marketing team, and he's looking after all the tech tonight and also looking after any of the questions. So if you've got any questions from any of the platforms we're on, whether it's YouTube, Instagram or Facebook, please just pop all your questions down in the chat for us, and we'll actually go and look at all your questions as we go through. Really exciting evening ahead of us. We're looking at the new Muse collection this evening. The Muse collection now started out with 4 different styles, and now we've got 8 different styles in the collection because I'm going to introduce you to the 4 new styles. We've also got 12 colours in the collection. 5 of them are rooted, and we've got 2 really beautiful new colours to actually introduce to you and show you tonight. So if you've got any questions on the styles, any questions on the colours, how the Muse collection actually works, just let us know. The Muse collection is unique in itself because all of the wigs in that collection are made from a high heat fibre. So because they're made from a high heat fibre, we're able to actually style them. So you can straighten the hair, you can recurl the hair, and then you can straighten it again. So it's very much like wearing human hair, but you've got the advantage that you can also change the style as well. And the biggest advantage of all, once you put that style into it and you wash it again, it stays in the same style for you. So it's really easy for you to actually look after. And we'll look at the styling a little bit later on this evening as we actually go through the actual program. Just to actually begin with, I'm going to actually look at our first style, which is called Silky Sleek. And the Silky Sleek is also behind me, and it's in this beautiful new colour, which is called Ice Petal. The colour, and if I bring that a little bit closer to the camera for you, you can see you've got these very, very subtle shades of pink. You've got some slightly brighter pink strands, and then a very ice white going through it. I think for the summer months, definitely coming up into the autumn, in the winter, the colour is absolutely fantastic. What we've actually got style-wise is what we actually would refer to is an A-line bob. And if I just bring my head in, I'll pop that one on, and it just let you see the styles a little bit easier as I'm describing them to you. So we've got that really nice A-line bob, just skimming the top of the actual shoulders and cut a lot shorter through that back area with those lovely shorter layers on the underneath. As you can see, the hair just moves beautifully. It's really lightweight, this fibre, and it just moves as if it's your own human hair, which is a really great advantage as well because it looks completely natural, and you can just ruffle it up and put your fingers through it just to get all that lovely movement through them. The actual foundation on this one, and as you know, before we talk about foundations and how important they are for that comfort factor, these are actually made, they're all machine wefted, but the machine wefting is on a stretch net material. So you can see the wefting, which has been stitched onto the stretch net material. It gives you a lot of stretch. As you can see, they're quite stretchy and quite forgiving. So if you've got quite a large head size, or if you've got quite a lot of hair to wear underneath the wig, you're going to actually manage to actually fit this wig on without it being a problem. They're all adjustable in the nape area. So we've actually got the Velcro nape that you can take it in to make it tighter and out to actually make it looser. to make it comfortable to fit. The top of this one is a classic cap construction. So we've just got our machine wefting on the top. We don't have any lace in this one at all. The other three models do actually have lace partings, and I'll show you those in a moment. But I think for this particular bob and this A-line bob, you just get a really nice soft look. It frames the face absolutely beautifully, and you've just got that very nice side swept fringe as well. It works really, really well in the collection. So that's the first one in our collection. And then moving on to the second one, and what you probably know about the Muse collection, or if you're actually familiar with the original fall styles that we actually have in the Muse collection, they're all made with absolutely beautiful colours as well. So if you're somebody who really likes to wear quite bright colours, quite different colours, you're going to be able to get that in this collection. But again, if you're somebody who wants a very natural brown or a very natural blonde, then we do the classic marble brown, which is this shade. It's a shade of brown really that suits everybody. It's got very, very soft tones going through it that you can see. So we've got those lighter caramel tones running through the actual hair. With the actual Mod Sleek, this is a very straight one length bob. So it's a mid-length bob sitting just on top of your shoulders. It's quite straight. It just curves under very, very naturally. Again, if you wanted to put some curl or some wave into this, you're going to be able to without a problem. It's also just got a very, very nice soft fringe to it. And you can also see that in the model behind me here, which is in the same colour of the actual marble brown. Also, when we're looking at the style of it and looking at that foundation, it's the same foundation makeup as before. So we've got the machine wefting onto that stretch net to make it really comfortable for you. But we've got that beautiful lace parting in lace front. By having that lace parting in lace front, it really kind of elevates that foundation and the style. And when you're wearing it, it will just give the impression, and if I bring that a bit closer, that the hair is just growing from the scalp. And also, if you wanted to move the fringe back, again, you've got that lovely invisible lace front to it. I think which really does mean quite a lot to people when they're wearing a lace front. You want something that looks really, really natural for you. So that's the first two wigs in the collection. And for any new viewers who have actually just tuned in, you're with Aderans UK Live, and we're talking about the Muse collection tonight. The Muse collection originally had 4 wigs in the collection. We've now got 4 more, and we've got 8 wigs in the actual collection. And we've got 12 colours, 2 of them being new colours. The second new colour I'd like to show you is this colour, which I think is absolutely amazing. I think it takes somebody maybe fairly brave to actually wear a colour like this. But if you're somebody who's lost your hair, you always used to enjoy playing with colour when you had hair, and you want those really bright, funky colours, then this is one for you. This colour is called Grape Burst, and it really does remind you kind of that Ribena kind of colour that we've actually got. The actual style on this one is what we call chic waves, and we've got a very short angled bob. It's angled ever so slightly towards the front, being slightly shorter towards the actual back. And behind me you can see we've got this one out in the actual creamy toffee. So we've got a very natural blonde in that as well, for those of you who want something that looks a lot more natural and you don't want all of these funky colours. And we've just had somebody pop up and say the Muse is their favourite collection of all time. And I must agree with you. I think they're fabulous wigs. They're very, very easy to look after. This one looks really great when we style it straight, as well as leaving it in those soft waves that we actually have. And when we're looking at the foundation again, we've got the same foundation, but we've also got that lovely lace parting in lace front. So it looks really, really natural when somebody's wearing this wig. For all of those of you who've been watching tonight so far, I'm going to actually just throw in a little competition question. As this is a new collection, or 4 new styles in the collection, I think it'd be really nice for one of you to actually win one of these wigs. And I'm going to be working on one of these wigs in a moment as well. And the one I'm working on, you've got the opportunity to actually win. It's a very simple question. I've actually told you the answer probably twice already. So if you've kind of been listening for those answers, then you're going to actually know what the actual answer is. Just pop it in the chat box and we'll be able to see who the actual competition winner is, and we'll get in touch with you after the show. So for tonight's question, how many wigs are in the Muse collection? And how many colours do we actually have in the Muse collection as well? So it's a 2-part question, really. How many styles and how many colours we actually have in that collection? And we've just got a couple of questions coming through now. Somebody's asking me, because this is a high heat fibre, what temperature can they actually use on the actual fibre when they're styling it? When you're styling one of the high heat fibre wigs, we always recommend that you use a pair of straightening irons that have got a temperature gauge with them. We've got our own straighteners, the Aderans hair straighteners. If you don't actually have any, you can buy a pair of these. They're absolutely fantastic to use. And they work well with human hair, but they also work really well on the high heat fibre. When you're going to be styling the high heat fibre, always use a temperature gauge of about 140. You might need to tweak it up to 160. A really good tip though is if you are going to actually try straightening the hair or putting more curl into the hair, just do a test section, say on the underneath section, just to make sure you've got the temperature right and you're not going to cause any damage to the actual hair at all. And that's really important and quite a good tip, I think. And somebody is asking, is there any special products that you actually use on it? What shampoos do we actually use? The shampoo that we actually use on all of the Muse collection, because it's a high heat fibre, are the actual revitalising wash shampoo, which is this one. We also do a conditioner with it as well. And these are fantastic for all synthetic wigs, but particularly for the high heat fibre ones, and they've been made especially for that. And one of the most important products that you would use is what we actually call the moisture protection. The moisture protection is a spray. You just get a very light spritz of it. And when you're using this, if you're going to put any heat onto your wig, what you need to actually do is just give it a light spritz before you actually style it, just to protect that hair, and then a light spritz afterwards as well. Even if you're not putting heat onto the wig, but you're a daily wearer, every morning just give it a light spritz, and at the end of the day when you take your wig off, brush it through gently and then just actually give it a light spritz again. It helps to actually look after that fibre in the actual long term. And the last of the new ones that I'm going to actually look at, and this is the one I'm going to be styling this evening as well. And this particular one is one of my favourites. It's called the Lush Waves. And as you can see, the waves on this is absolutely beautiful. Again, this colour is a creamy toffee. So we've got that really natural blonde for those of you who want more of a natural colour. Behind me, we actually have it on display in the actual grape fur, so that really beautiful vibrant purple shade, which I think for the autumn and winter months coming up is going to be one of those wigs that just sell out completely in colour. So this is really bouncy. You've got a really nice wave to it. Going to the hairdressers, you would probably spend ages, a hairdresser, putting all that curl into it, but to be able to buy a wig like this And when you wash it, that wave will actually just stay in the hair beautifully for you. Also, it comes with that really important lace front and lace parting again, which we actually really love to see within the wigs. And the same foundation as before, or the machine wefting on the stretch net, just to give you that comfort and that size for when you actually need it if you've got hair underneath. If you don't have any hair underneath, these will adjust, so you can take them in to make them tighter or bring it out to make it looser, to see which you can get the best feel for it. So this one's the Lush Waves, and I'm just going to bring in, so as I'm talking to you, I'm going to just bring in the one I'm going to work on this evening. And what I'm going to actually do, I want to take the fear out of styling wigs for you. A lot of people, when they've got a very curly wig like this, they're a little bit unsure. How, do they brush it? Do they comb it? Do they just put their fingers through it? I think if you wanted to leave it in that very natural curl and wave that we've got, then you would just take your fingers through it to detangle it, or just gently use a wide tooth comb just to actually break it up and to gently get rid of any tangles on the underneath section for you. What I want to do this evening though, as we're talking, and I've started styling one side of this wig because I wanted to actually complete it whilst we were live on air, is to actually smooth out some of that wave, just put those beautiful, it's almost like a lovely Hollywood wave that we're putting into it. And when you're doing this, you just need to be very gentle with it, and you can use products as you actually go through as well. When you're thinking of using products when you're styling your wigs, make sure it's a water soluble product so you can actually wash it out, and don't overload the hair with product, because if you overload the hair with the product, you're going to need to wash the wig to actually take that product out. So I'm just sectioning off that top section so I can work on that underneath section. And I'm going to actually be using a product from Redken called Wax Blast, which is this product. It's going to actually, it does put some sheen and shine onto the actual hair, but also it gives me a lot of texture when I'm working with it. So again, I'm just going to give it a light spritz through, and then just taking my normal wig brush, I'm just going to brush that hair through because I want to actually take a lot of that curl out. And a lot of people get quite scared when it comes to actually brushing their wigs in case they're going to actually damage them. So this is just going to take a lot of that wave out for me. And you can see it's just beginning to actually take shape and coming down into a really nice soft wave, which you can just tweak into place as we actually go along, which is lovely. So you can really get a completely different look with this wig. If you wanted to straighten the hair, you're going to be able to straighten that hair as well. And just take another section, and as we take that next section again, we just take our Wax Blast again and give it a very light spritz. Always remember, too much product can actually, make the wig too heavy. You're not going to be able to do what you want with it. You can always add more product into it, but it's difficult to take it out. You would need to wash it to actually take it out. So again, I would be just really mindful of the product and how much product you're using. And we've got a question coming in now. Somebody said, if they're a little bit nervous and a bit scared to actually style it themselves, but they want to go straight or they want to go curly, can they actually take it back to the person they bought it from? And absolutely, if you have bought the wig from any of our Trenco salons, you can make an appointment with any of our staff and they'd be quite happy to restyle your wig for you. Also, if you've actually bought it through anybody else throughout the UK, most people will be able to offer that service where they're going to actually be able to style that wig for you. So just ring our customer services team if you want to know somebody close to you, in case you bought it online. And I know a lot of you do purchase online, so you can actually find somebody nearby who will actually style that wig. And you can see now how beautiful that's beginning to look. You can really manipulate the hair, so we're getting that really nice wave coming into it. So I think whoever wins the actual competition tonight is going to end up with a really beautiful wig. It's got a very soft fringe to it, which you can just take across to one side because you've got that lovely natural lace front. If you wanted to, you can always bring it forward and make it into a much heavier fringe as well. So just going to go back to my original side. Again, just a light spritz of the actual spray. And you can just see those waves just coming into place for me. So you can get that really kind of red carpet Hollywood look with all those lovely waves if you didn't want to keep it in that really strong curl that it was originally in. Just take that through and I'll show you the other one in a minute, and then you can have a real comparison and you can see the real difference is actually made by just brushing some of those curls out. So we've got that really nice wave coming into the actual hair, taking all those really strong ringlety curls out, which is really lovely. And if I just grab the one we showed earlier, you can really see the difference now between the curl that it comes in out of the box and the actual lovely wave that we've actually got now for you. So you can really work with these. So I'm just going to put that one to one side, and again, keep your answers coming in for us, and we'll actually select that winner at the end of the evening. We've had lots of people actually coming in with the answers, so keep them coming in and one lucky person will win that. Somebody's just asked, can I just show you how to actually straighten the hair and how to actually curl it if it's something they wanted to do themselves? So this is one of the original Muse collection, which is the velvet waves, and again this is in one of the really original colors, which is lovely, which was called the Polar Sky. So you've got that really beautiful sky blue color. I'm just going to switch my straighteners on, and again, as I said, if we're looking at about 140 160 degrees, you can always tweak it and get the temperature to go higher, but always do a little test section on that underneath as well for you. And we've got another question. Was that in the degrees? Is it in centigrade or Fahrenheit? It's 160 degrees, so that would be, and I'm asking Mitch now, do we work in centigrade or Fahrenheit? Centigrade, isn't it?
I think.
I would say it's centigrade. Yeah, that's both of us. We've been completely thrown by that question. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's always centigrade we actually work in. I think in the States they work in Fahrenheit. They always work slightly differently to us. So they're just heating up. So take your moisture protection spray, and this will actually help protect the fibre. If you don't happen to have that spray at home, you can always just do a light spritz just of water. It's just to make that fibre slightly damp and slightly wet for you to actually style it. So we're just, when you're straightening the hair, if you just work in just small sections as well, so you can take some control over the actual hair that you've actually got. So I'm just going to take a small section of the hair so you can see it. I'll just trim the head around a little bit more so you can see it a little bit easier. And this is the natural wave that this particular style comes in. So again, just take your straighteners and just slide them through the actual hair. And it's really important that when you use straighteners to actually straighten anything or to put curl into it, that when you put your straighteners in, instead of just clamping them shut and then moving it, just shut them and move it all in one motion. And then you're going to get a really nice sleek look. And as you can see, getting a little bit of static with that, but that hair just straightens out absolutely beautifully for you. And if you wanted to wash it, it's going to stay straight. And then if you wanted to put that curl back into it again, it's exactly the same, just actually a little bit of the moisture protection on that fibre just to actually protect it. And once you've actually done that, you're ready just to straighten it again. And you can see by wetting it, it just stays completely straight for you as well. So it's not going to revert back to that wave or to that curl that you actually had originally. And then you can just take your straighteners and just wind your hair through. I always just hold it for a few seconds, keep my fingers on it because I can actually feel that temperature then coming through the actual hair. And then you can just release the hair and you've got that beautiful curl put straight back into it again, as if you've just had your hair recurled again in the salon. So really easy to actually do, easy to maintain and easy to look after. And I think it's quite fun really that you can have a wig and actually make those changes to it. Because when we've got our own bio hair, we're always doing different things with our hair and making those changes. And that's what people really want to actually be able to see. And have we got any other questions coming through, Mitch? Have you noticed any?
We have answered most, Jane. I've got one here from Jenny, who's asked, do you have any rooted colours in the Muse collection?
We do, yeah, great question, Jenny. We've got 5 rooted colours in the Muse collection. So if you wanted to head over to our website, they'd be all on our website. You'll be able to actually see them. And we've also got a new catalogue as well, which is this catalogue that you'll be able to actually get from us if you actually again ring our customer services on 01273 774977, and they'll actually be able to show you and tell you what colours are available. And this is the colour availability that you've got. So you can see we've got some really great colours, some lilac cloud, lunar haze, and obviously the 2 new ones, the great burst and the icy petal. So there's, I think, a colour for everybody. Another beautiful colour is the dusty rose, if you want that very soft rose colour, which is really nice. So as you can see, it doesn't damage that fibre at all. You can put a curl into it and it would stay. And if you wanted to straighten that curl out again, you can actually smooth that curl out again completely. So you can have, you know, fun every day with the actual hair. You can actually, you know, go away for a weekend and have a completely different look when you're out for a weekend. So I just think it's a great collection to actually have. You can see, you can actually just move. That curl has just come out absolutely beautifully to give you that really nice Hollywood wave that people love to actually have their hair styled in. Great if you're getting married or if you're going to be a bridesmaid for anybody as well. You can really change the look of that particular wig. So I think they're great. Okay, and another question. How can we add colours into the mix of hair ourselves for a multicolour styling, even if it's temporary? Okay, because it's a synthetic fibre, even though it's a high heat fibre, you're not able to actually colour it at all. Human hair, you can colour, you can add colour, and you can add tone and depth to it. But when we're looking at high heat fibre or any synthetic wig, you're not able to actually colour it. So unfortunately, Sophie, you won't be able to put any different colours into it. But again, if you look at the collection, there's a lot of different colours anyway. If you wanted like a multi-tonal wig with lots of different kind of shades going through it, look at some of our other collections because we've got some lovely wigs, lovely colours with lots of different colours going through them. Pastel rainbow is one of the colours that jumps to mind for me because it's got all those shades of different blues and pinks and greens just running through it. So that might actually be an answer for you if you wanted something with different colours going through it at all. And okay, I think that might be all of our questions that we've actually had. I don't think I've actually missed one. Oh, somebody has just popped up and asked, how often should you actually wash the hair? If you're wearing the wig every day and you're wearing it 7 days a week, every day, you know, 12 hours a day, 10 hours a day, we always recommend that you actually wash them every 7 to 10 days. And again, I think a lot of you out there might be a bit apprehensive about washing your wigs so often. You might get a little bit nervous thinking that you might actually lose a little bit of the lifespan because you're washing them, you know, every 7 to 10 days. But it does actually help look after the actual quality of the fibre, and it actually looks after the foundation as well, and it stops the foundation deteriorating too quickly. So every 10 days is really the actual kind of 7 to 10 days to actually wash your wigs, and that's with any of our collections. I mean, obviously if you're only wearing your wig on a weekend, you can maybe wash it every 4 weeks, but normally every 7 to 10 days is a good rule of thumb for how often you should actually be washing the actual wig. And I'm going to ask Mitch now if we've got any competition winners so we can announce that winner. Mitch has been keeping a close eye on all of the actual names who have been coming up with the actual answers. So we'll just wait for Mitch to announce the person.
We've got a lot of people to get it right as well. We've had about 10 people come through.
Oh, excellent. Good.
Would you like me to announce one now? I'll pick one at random.
Yes, please, Mitch. Yep.
Okay, we have Sophie Sheehan.
Brilliant. Well done, Sophie. Congratulations to you. You've actually won the, and let me just grab her again for you so you can see the actual wig you've won. So this is the Lush Waves, and it's in that lovely creamy toffee colour as well. That one will actually, somebody will get in touch with you tomorrow from our office, and they'll take your address and all your contact details. Or if you want to actually contact us overnight with your details, we'll make sure that one gets popped out in the post for you. And you'll get to have a new look for this weekend, which will be quite exciting, which is really good. I'd like to say a big thank you to Mitch tonight, who's been supporting me. It's his first time doing all the tech stuff for me live, and it's always a little bit nerve-wracking to make sure it all goes right and all actually pans out correctly, but he's been absolutely great. So big thank you to Mitch. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who's tuned in this evening. We've had a nice lot of people watching us, and we won't be with you next week. We'll be having there'll be a live video next week for you to actually watch, because myself and Bradley are actually on an oncology event up in Birmingham, so we're going to be away for the week. But we won't miss you out on anything. There will be a live video for you all. So thank you, everybody. A good night from me and a good night from Mitch as well. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.